Welcome. Today, we are diving into one of the deepest secrets of creation itself. This idea that the human form, your body, is a perfect reflection of the entire cosmos, a living, breathing map of the divine. Okay, let's get into it. We've laid out our deep dive in 6 key stages. We're going to start with the original divine blueprint, see how it was perfectly replicated in Adam, then look at the catastrophic system crash, and, most importantly, explore how you, right now, can help reboot the whole thing.
So we begin not with dust and clay, but with a thought, a concept. Before any matter existed, there was a pattern, a divine blueprint for a being that was designed to unite all worlds. The sources tell us that the Holy One, blessed be He, looked into the Torah and from that created the worlds. Well, the Torah is this blueprint. It's the spiritual architecture of all reality.
Now, you've heard this verse 1,000 times, but it's not just beautiful poetry. The Zohar, the writings of the Ari, they explain this as a technical statement. Adam was created in a very specific tselem, that's a pre-existing spiritual structure. This tselem is the form of Adam Kadmon, the primordial man, which is basically the structural template that all of creation is patterned on. It's the divine form itself projected right into existence.
Right, so think about what this really means. The human body isn't just some random biological accident. No, it's a physical interface, hardware that was specifically designed to perceive and interact with the divine architecture. The hardware perfectly reflects the software of the universe. This verse is saying that by understanding the structure of our own bodies, our own flesh, we can actually comprehend the structure of the divine. Every limb, every organ, all 248 limbs and 365 sinews, they each correspond to a supernal spiritual force.
So to really get the copy, we have to go back and look at the original, right? Let's take a look at what we're calling the primary server. This is the super spiritual world of Atzilut, the world of emanation. This is the source code, the master configuration file from which all the lower worlds are basically copied and pasted.
The Tree of Life actually describes 2 main ways that divine energy is configured. First, you have Igalim, or circles. Think of this as pure, raw, undifferentiated energy just emanating outwards in these huge concentric spheres. It's all potential. But for creation to have structure, for it to function, for that to be things like cause and effect and specific pathways, that raw energy had to be configured into Yosher, which literally means straight or line, the form of a man. This is the blueprint. This vertical linear structure of Yosher is what allows for a directed flow of energy, from a head down to feet, creating a whole system of interconnected parts that work together.
And now we get to the miracle. Just try to imagine this luminous, perfectly symmetrical architecture of the upper worlds being flawlessly mirrored, perfectly replicated into a physical form down here in the lower world. Well, that replication is Adam. He isn't some faint shadow, he is a complete and perfect microcosm. His form contains the entirety of the cosmic structure. He's the bridge, the living, breathing connection between all the layers of reality.
And honestly, this technology just nails the concept. Adam isn't a shadow, he is a fully functional replica node in a distributed cosmic network. He has all the pathways, all the permissions, all the structures of the primary server copied onto his local machine. This makes him a living interface between heaven and earth. And get this, he's not just receiving data, he has read-write access. That means his actions directly impact the state of the primary server, influencing the flow of divine energy, the Shifa, to all the worlds. Okay, so let's zoom in and pop the hood on the interface itself. How does this whole cosmic map actually function inside the human form? Well, the answer is in the Sephirot, those 10 divine emanations that make up the operating system. And these aren't just abstract ideas, they are the very faculties of our soul and the energies that actually animate our bodies.
Now, what's so wild about this slide is the precision. This is not a metaphor. Chesed, kindness, is the energy of expansion, of giving, and it maps directly to the right arm. Gevura, strength or judgment, is the opposite, the energy of contraction, of holding back, and it maps to the left arm. And Tiferet, harmony, is that perfect, beautiful balance between them, and it's located right in the torso, in the heart. The body is a physical printout of these spiritual dynamics. And the colors mentioned in Kabbalah, white for Chesed, red for Gevura, green for Tiferet, they represent the actual vibrational quality of these primary forces, a sort of harmonic balance within the system.
The crown, or Keter, is unique. The sources, especially the Etch Chaim, are really clear that it isn't part of Adam's core programming, his essential self or Partsuf. It's more like an external authority that's granted to him from a higher level, from Ima, the supernal mother, or Bina. It surrounds him like a halo, an or makif, an enveloping light. This is the source of his supreme authority. It's the reason the verse says all creatures were given into his hand. It was this transcendent light that made every living thing feel an innate fear and awe in his presence.
Adam isn't static in this model. He's a dynamic, multidimensional hub. The 6 directions, up, down, north, south, east, west, they aren't just spatial. They are energetic axis, and each one corresponds to one of the 6 Sephirot, from Chesed down to Yesod. And Adam, he stands right at the center. He's the 7th point, the nexus where all these energies meet. He was designed to channel and unify the flow from all of them at once. He is the Yechida, the single point of unity for all creation. You could call him the central processing unit that integrates all the directional inputs and outputs of the entire cosmos.
You know, what's so amazing about this ancient wisdom is its scalability. It can offer profound insight to a child and to a seasoned sage at the same time. So let's try to break it down from both of those perspectives.
Right, so for a younger mind, you can think of Adam as the ultimate video game character who has all the power-ups unlocked from the start. He's standing on that central tile of the world map, which gives him access to the elemental powers of all 6 surrounding regions. And the Crown of the Creator is like a super rare item he has equipped that gives him total dominion over all the game's non-player characters. But for an adult, we can see a much more sophisticated model of cosmic engineering, a human being as a living, breathing node that's capable of processing and influencing the entire network. This integrated interface allows for sending and receiving data, that divine influx across multiple dimensions, all unified by the consciousness of the soul. But this perfect system, this absolutely luminous being, experienced a critical failure. The sin wasn't just a simple act of disobedience, it was a catastrophic system error, and it had cascading consequences that literally rippled through every single layer of existence.
Yeah, the sources describe this as a literal system downgrade. Before the sin, Adam's body was made of a spiritual substance from the world of Yetzirah, the world of formation. After, it was replaced by a body from the world of Asiyah, our physical world of action. I mean, he basically went from a high-bandwidth fiber optic connection straight down to a dial-up modem. The command was a critical system warning. The tree of knowledge was like an exposed data port, a part of the Da'ath channel where klipot, these external negative forces, could latch on and corrupt the data. By accessing this channel prematurely, before the higher-level firewalls from Abba were fully installed, he basically introduced a virus into the core of the system, mixing good and evil and causing a system-wide crash.
And this is so crucial. It wasn't just a personal failure. It was a cosmic event. When the central node glitched, the entire network was impacted. The very architecture of reality was diminished. Each of the worlds, Atzilut, Bria, Yetzirah, Asya, they all stepped down a level. The light contracted, the veil between the spiritual and the physical got thicker. Adam's fall was, in a very real way, creation's fall.
Okay, so if the system is downgraded, what now? Is it just a lost cause? Absolutely not. This is where we, every single one of us, come in. We are the system administrators now. We're the field technicians tasked with debugging the code, patching the vulnerabilities, and restoring the original design.
The Zohar teaches that nothing was lost forever. The potential for restoration, for the work of tikkun, or rectification, was actually built into the system from the very beginning. The seeds of redemption were planted even before the fall. And you, your soul, your life, you are the key.
And it's a very practical 3-step process. First, teshuvah, which really means return or repentance. This is about identifying the bug. It's the diagnostic tool you run to locate the corrupted code in your own character and actions. Second, the mitzvot, the commandments. These are the code patches. They are physical actions you perform in this physical world that are precisely engineered to interact with the spiritual reality to find and elevate the broken fragments of the original system. And third, kavana, or intention. This is the administrative password. It's the focused consciousness that executes the command, authenticates the patch, and makes sure the spiritual energy you release gets directed to the right place to restore one small piece of that original divine blueprint.
The Kabbalists speak of 288 sparks of holiness that shattered during an even earlier cosmic event called the breaking of the vessels. These sparks fell into the material world and got trapped inside the klipot, or husks. Our work of tikkun is to be like spiritual archaeologists, to find and elevate these hidden sparks through our actions,
reassembling the broken vessels piece by piece, light by light.
So here is the ultimate takeaway from all of this. You are not separate from this cosmic drama. You're not a spectator watching from the sidelines. You are living inside a replica of the divine blueprint. Your body is the hardware, it's the terminal, and every choice you make, every action you take, every thought you think, it's a calibration. You're either reinforcing the glitch or you're running the patch that helps restore the original, luminous design.
This ancient map, it places immense responsibility on our shoulders, but it also gives us immense power. It completely reframes our entire existence. You are the operator of a sacred interface. Every single moment is an opportunity to debug, to upgrade, to bring a little more of the blueprint's light back into the world. The only question is, what will your next command be?
We hope these ancient truths help you and your family improve your own dimensions this week. If you enjoyed this full chapter deep dive, please like, subscribe, and share which part of the journey touched your soul in the comments. We'll see you in the next chapter.